Hey Garrett, are they making another Resident Evil movie?
Yeah, I believe that Mila Jovovich and her husband are gonna do like one more, which doesn't make any sense because the last one, it ended with like the world like destroyed, like everything is taken over by the virus.
Awesome.
So I don't know, it was dumb.
Do you want to take a poll on how many people are going to die? Some men are going to die for this one.
Did people die?
People
Yeah.
died, like multiple people. Have
Yeah,
died.
people passed away.
Oh God, that's sad. In the last one, I believe it was.
Oh God.
It was like the main
That's
character,
sad.
Mila's character Alice, at the White House with a couple of the other characters from the movies, and Wesker was there, and it was like the White House was the last little patch of green in a burning world that span, like the dead had covered the rest of the entire planet.
It's so funny to me that like they pick characters and elements from the game
Yeah.
at times, but then at other times just fucking
Make shit
wing
up.
it. Like you're in the White House.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
Resident Evil is that from?
Yeah, it's weird how like the first one is great because it doesn't fuck up the continuity of any of the games, and it ties in some stuff where they like, oh, I'm a friend of Leon Kennedy's. That's about as much as a tie-in as you get.
Yeah.
But it was still continuity-wise, didn't fuck up any timeline stuff. Then the second one happened, and they started borrowing characters because they put the Nemesis and Jill in that movie.
Yeah.
And then it was like, all right, that was probably one of the better ones. I like Resident Evil 2, the movie, more than any of the rest of the series. But it fucks the storyline up completely because it's using main storyline characters from the second game. But
Oh man, I saw one of those on TV. I don't know which one, but it was fucking
They're
awful.
all bad.
It was
they're
just like,
all bad, but
It was just them running through a building and just like shutting doors behind them, and that's it. It's like we run in here, we shut a door, we talk for a little bit,
the last
we
one.
fight, we run to a new room, we shut the door.
It looked like bad cosplayer footage. It was
Yeah.
It was like, all right, we're gonna get a guy, dress him up like Barry Burton from this game, get a girl, dress her up like Jill from this game. All right, Ada Wong's in there. All right, Wesker, we're gonna dress him up like he was in Resident Evil 5. All right, the bad guy from Resident Evil 5, he's coming in. Like they just threw all this stuff in from all the games. And then they did it under the guise of like, well, we're in a facility that's created this hologram VR, Star Trek holodeck type thing. So it was like loading Los Illuminados castle setting, and there'd be the fucking villager dudes they'd be fighting, and then it would go like loading, Kijuju virus outbreak.
Oh my God.
And then it would be in Africa, and it was ridiculous.
I was in them.
It was the last one was laughable how bad it was, but
There's another one coming out.
Are you guys in with the VR hype?
Yes.
yeah.
Are you?
You did a video.
Have you
on
tried it yet?
I have. I've tried a couple of different devices.
What do you think?
I think it depends on the developer because I've tried Oculus DK2 two times,
Uh-huh.
and one was pretty bad, one was really good, and the really good one was developed by Red Bull. So
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Ooh.
yeah, that one was.
They know what they're
super
doing.
good.
Cream
Developers
is
are
gonna
working
rise to
around
the
clock.
to the top.
Huh. Yeah, I'm excited to try it. I was telling Kevin, I'm not gonna just buy the first round of it. I'm gonna wait
Yeah.
and let the dust settle and then figure out what it really is.
Yeah,
if
they're
it's
coming out
worth
with
it.
some interesting titles now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys seen the bird one with the eagle, with the
No.
VR. I don't remember the title of
Why does
it,
that
but
sound
Do
familiar?
you fly? Like
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
you have the VR goggles and you're like flying. You have to capture the flag.
that'll
It looks
be
really cool.
Whoa.
You're excited for Res on
Yeah.
PS4.
Res in VR is like.
So you think we're going console
always
route?
wanted that, yeah.
I'm gonna try to pick it up on the PS4 version, which
Morpheus.
I do feel your hesitation. Like I don't want to buy the first round
It's
of
just
this thing.
$500 and I'm not 100% sure yet.
I know, but I need something new in video games
I
to
get
like
that.
make me want to play stuff again. Because I'm like at this stalemate where all I play is Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, but you're like this is like buying a Sega Saturn
Yep.
when you should be waiting for like a Dreamcast.
Yeah, but
Or
I
Game
feel like I'm in a place where I can afford it, number one, and
Yeah.
it's kind of my job doing this,
Sure.
Yeah,
showing
sure.
this stuff. Like I
your
want to be
life.
able to use it on the PPS as
Yeah,
well.
I get that.
Gaming is a way of life.
Kind of is my main hobby. So
Yeah.
I can't afford PC gaming. I just never been in that kind of bracket because the point of entry and the period in which you gotta re-up is just too
A lot.
common.
That's
Yeah.
actually not true anymore.
It has changed recently, or
I was talking to somebody about this. You know, when I was a kid, the thought of playing a game on my PC was not happening. Basically, up all through high school, like
Yeah.
I just put the question out of my mind. But recently, I mean, I bought my PC in like 2010, so it's 6 years old. I've been running Metal Gear Solid 5 on it, Shadows of Mordor. In fact, since I put Steam on it, I've never run into a problem. I've never run into a game. Maybe there was one game, honestly. Planetary Annihilation, don't recommend it. It's the
Really?
one game I
Yeah.
couldn't get to work on my computer of the 30 I've downloaded of various sizes.
Really?
Yeah, and I haven't updated.
Do you know the specs? on your
I don't
PC?
know the specs, but I'll tell you, back in 2010, I had some disposable income and I wanted to do video editing, so I went just to Fry's and I was like, hey, I do video editing. I want something to edit videos.
Yeah.
Give me a strong computer. And I bought a top-of-the-line computer 6 years ago.
Still holds
And
up.
it's still running good today.
I think also I've bought into that Apple camp. So I have
That's a dangerous camp.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
a
you're a
MacBook.
Mac?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't afford that. It's so much.
That's why I went PC.
See, I know it's a lot, but it lasted me my last one for like
that's the
10
thing.
years.
Yeah, my Mac
That's the
has
thing.
not slowed down or done like for what I want out of it, and it talks to all my shit, and
Yeah.
and I just like the Mac operating system more.
But
I would
more
say you'd be surprised. I bet your computer can handle a lot of awesome games.
Yeah,
back to the VR
Totally.
stuff. I hear the Oculus specs need to be pretty.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the only thing that becomes a problem now
Yeah.
is these VR headsets, like especially the Vive.
And that
require
seems to be
so
the best
much
one.
power.
What I've heard is the
Yeah.
Vive is with the actual
It
controllers
has the
with like
cameras
triggers.
in front too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard the Vive is the better one.
I would like to try that because I've only tried Oculus, and I'm just
That's
kind of gonna.
for me too.
I'm going in on Morpheus blind just because I'm the Sony fanboy that I trust. I'm gonna be able to enjoy whatever's coming out first. But
You know what? You know what
Res
this-
is promising.
You know what it is for me too, but this is just my personal preference in games.
Yeah.
Is I'm not really that into the Vive, not because of the hardware. Hardware's awesome, but you know, because I have friends who are like, "Oh my god, the Vive is amazing," but everything that they got running on it is not. There's not really any kind of what I care about in games is something that really takes me on an adventure, or and not necessarily that it needs to be a movie, but something that takes me down the rabbit hole, kind of.
Okay.
And everything that everyone has had me try on the Vive has been, wow, check out this awesome 3D paintbrush. Oh, okay, and the technology is amazing, but I'm just kind of like, all right, but what's story? What am I doing?
Shovelware.
You know, and what I have to say, and again, this only speaks to my taste, is Sony has consistently shown, hey, our VR headset, check it out, Batman. And it's solving a mystery as Batman. That's, okay, so already that's something I know, and I'm going down that. You know what I mean? Like,
Gotcha.
that's something I can... I just look for... that's just my taste in games. I look for stuff that's going to take me on this kind of adventure more so than, like, things that are just kind of... you know what I'm saying? Like puzzles
Yeah.
and things. You know what I mean? That's just my taste.
I think the hardest part for VR is just the immersion because
Yeah.
like when you put on the goggles and then if you move the controller but you're not moving yourself,
Yeah.
it creates that vertigo
Yeah.
feeling,
Yes.
which is a big problem. Like I know Minecraft's way around that because they did the Minecraft VR.
Yeah.
You, like have a selector and then you choose where you want to go and you just like teleport there, which is kind of like
You know
Yeah.
what I think is
But-
going to be
but
the solution?
It's all immersion until you do that and you break the immersion. So what's the point?
You know what I think is going to be the
True.
solution? People are going to get over that.
They'll adjust.
Yeah, I think people will just force themselves to play it.
Sure.
They'll get sick and they'll just get used to it.
I don't know. There's a lot of startups that are doing like
The bike things,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
a
I'm
bunch of different stuff.
I'm curious about those.
Maybe, but I'm a believer that peripherals come and go, but at the end of the day, people want to sit on their ass to play video games.
Yes, that's how I feel.
And I
true.
think people are just going to play the VR thing and they'll deal with it and it'll make them sick for a while, but then they'll just adjust. Like 3D movies and driving a car.
It makes way more sense to me to have a VR headset and move around with it in a 3D space, but I don't think that's ultimately what will catch on. I think it's asking too much of people, even though it makes more sense. I still think people are going to
Just
sit
deal.
and
They'll just
watch
deal with it.
How is the Wii doing with the? Do they have a lot of games where you still? I haven't.
Not really.
Not anymore.
Not Wii U related. No.
Not really.
You got a
Controller in the
point.
hand.
I would like
Nothing
some
beats
kind
it.
of. I would like controller in the hand, but then definitely some type of USB down to like some pedals.
You'll get
or
all that
paddles.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Because
sure.
I could see myself kind of sitting on the couch with the VR headset on and holding the controllers like I do in my lap, but then also having the ability to like move my feet to run or
Yeah,
do
but I feel
something.
like whatever they do to help you ease into it, eventually you're gonna get tired of that. You'd be like, "Fuck it." I know what it's like
Yeah.
putting the VR headset on.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Hey,
sit down.
I've put an exercise bike. I've got a recumbent like a resistance cycle. I've
Yeah.
put that in front of my TV in the living room and tried to play games and like not just sit on my ass on the couch, but like always pedal.
Yeah.
After maybe 4 to 5 minutes, guaranteed you're not pedaling anymore and you're integrated in trying to like pay more attention to aiming and getting the
But
headshot.
I
And it's
think
like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to keep
If
pedaling.
you are on a treadmill that's moving,
That's what Bernie did.
yeah, it's a Bernie did.
yeah, it's got to be
Yeah.
something that forces you.
Because you don't. Then at that point, you're walking. You don't
That's a
think about it.
Yeah.
You know
But
what?
also, you're probably playing a low intensity video game.
I think he played Fallout.
I thought it was Dead Space.
Was it?
All the Dead Space games.
I heard it was
Go
Halo.
ahead.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
Halo.
Dude, I
Well-
heard he was watching.
No,
But I was
they
gonna
hate
say,
Halo.
going back to that kind of like storied thing.
Yeah.
Though, the thing is this is still a new thing,
Right.
and like right now, I think it's the Vive is getting Fallout. There's an update for Fallout 4 where now you can play with VR, and I don't know if that'll come to console or what, or if they've already announced it. Maybe I missed it, but that's great. I've never played that game. I'd love to play it that way.
Yeah.
And look around and stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
We got some